Room Tone Podcast is a show produced by us, three movie nerds shooting the shit while talking about shooting the shit.
Each episode builds upon the last, so we recommend starting at the beginning.
Now, let's make a movie.
What up, guys?
Oh, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Skyblock. Sorry, I've been watching a lot of Skyblock.
We're going to make this short and quick. My name is Austin Rapeza.
My name's Austin Swain.
My name is Maddie. You don't get to know my last name, bitch.
Oh, shit. That's a long-ass name. You have to write that on paper.
Two Austins and a not Austin.
Exactly.
Today we're going to be doing another writing room. So last week we just kind of gave you a behind-the-scenes look at just as we kind of worked through some dialogue and worked on our script. And we're doing the same thing today, kind of finishing up scene 5. So linked in the description, you can find our production documents, read along the script with us if that helps you. But for now, just sit back and we are going to be working through it.
Enjoy our soothing
My
voices.
soothing voice.
Greg. Oh, fuck.
Let's jump into it.
Okay, so scene 5, Zoe's entering the coop, and we're getting a little more spooky-ooky. We've got David and Lonnie kind of whispering spooky nothings from off-camera as Zoe enters the coop wordlessly and is confronted by Lucille, the chicken, and her black egg.
And her black.
So, I guess start from the top?
The lines that we have for David and Lonnie in there were very much placeholders.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's just kind of see how the vibe feels. Zoe walks towards the chicken coop, leaving David and Lonnie behind.
I don't think about death much. That's a wild line. What's that about?
All right, well, let's table read it. Yeah, because we're getting into the spookiness.
I don't think about death much.
Zoe enters the coop carefully.
One day you're here and then poof.
The door shuts behind Zoe, making the space go dark. Zoe jumps, looking slightly nervous. She moves forward, looking through the empty chicken cages.
Life feels so short. Any moment could be your last.
Zoe, increasingly claustrophobic. She hears a clucking.
Gotta watch your back. Anything could happen.
Zoe, frightened, moving forward. There are eggs in the bottom of the last cage. Some of the eggs are broken. One of them is black. I paraphrased.
That's not what mine said.
No, I know.
Okay.
But we'll have to. We'll just have to rewrite that because we've rewritten the black egg. So now Lonnie says,
Then you drift away in the abyss of nothingness.
Zoe, terrified, grabs the black egg and runs out of the coop. Lonnie and David are finishing the joint. Zoe runs out of the coop, out of breath.
You alright, Cater?
Zoe looks towards the two of them, brushes her hair behind her ear, and continues into the house.
So why can't we still have broken eggs?
We do. Yeah, we can.
Then what are we changing? Why did you...
Because there was a black egg.
Because the black egg isn't written into the scene yet.
Oh, okay, I see.
And neither is Lucille.
That's true.
True.
I had to say, I think we don't need Lonnie or David talking. I think the spookiness can come from the action that's happening within the scene, and like we can really create an eerie feeling with a lot of Foley instead of like just like them talking.
Yeah, and I really just feel like it comes out of nowhere what they're saying.
Yeah.
Like, why are they talking about this all of a sudden?
Yeah, that's fair.
That's why I was always taken aback when he says, "I don't think about death much."
Yeah.
So I'm like, whoa, buddy.
That's cool. Yeah, I originally pitched it as just kind of like a unique way to like start to introduce the horror element and like kind of further push them into like antagonistic roles opposite Zoe, and which would in turn like push her closer to Donnie. So those are kind of like the reasons that I originally pitched it.
That's a very fair reason. Yeah. I don't think about death much.
And yeah, I mean, let's rewrite every single word of the things that they say, but I think it's still like a fun idea. And I think we should still do like all of the Foley and sound design that would come from within the chicken coop. I just think it could be fun to like include the ghostly voices of these fucking freakoids outside.
It's a possibility.
But that being said, I'm one guy.
I don't know. I see what's going on, or like I see the reasoning behind it, but I feel like we already like kind of established them as sort of antagonistic with the exchange that they had
Yeah, that's
in
true.
the beginning. I feel like them talking almost kind of pulls us out of like what's happening from within, because I feel like we're now paying a little bit more attention to what they're saying compared to what we're seeing.
I agree with that. And I think like the door slamming and the space going dark, I think it would be fun to like almost kind of hard cut into horror and like where the audience is kind of like, wait, whoa, what am I watching again?
Yeah.
And then she comes back out and it's like, okay, we're able to breathe again. Like, what the fuck just happened? And I agree. I don't think we need the narration for that.
Yeah.
And you're right. We've definitely built in a lot more antagonism with Lonnie and David since we wrote this section. So I'm okay to part with it.
Remind me, did we ask this? I know we talked about like how when she enters the coop, it's brighter outside. It's like midday.
Yeah.
And then when she leaves the coop, it's like
Later.
like at night. Are we still doing that?
I think to an extent, I don't know about like day to night, but I think it could
But
be
like
noticeably later in the day.
What if David and Lonnie are not even like there anymore? What if they've just gone? Like I feel like that adds like the eeriness of like
Yeah.
everything, especially
That's
if
fair.
Yeah.
especially if they like stay there, and you almost kind of wonder like, wait, was she in there for like hours?
Yeah, right.
Or minutes?
I'm into that.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
I'm into that. So then Zoe goes inside and meets up with Donnie just to like look ahead. Is it still just a one-on-one with them?
I think
Are
so.
Lonnie and David nowhere to be found?
I think they're just they're fucking off, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
They're doing whatever.
I
Yeah.
think they just fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Embodying Logan Roy.
Fuck yeah.
I just think they fuck off.
Yeah. I'm really into that. Okay, so David and Zoe are out of the rest of this scene. Or David and Lonnie. I still go back to David and Zoe from when they were dating.
Yeah. Oh, how time has
So
passed.
weird.
Uh-huh. Okay, so I'm just gonna start. Should we just delete all their lines?
I think that's a lot.
How about we
to
just
do.
Delete
Can
their
we just
lines?
do one line at a time?
We
we just talked about getting rid of like all of their
do
dialogue.
you want them to speak through the coop scene?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Okay, I thought you were doing what you did earlier where you just like deleted a whole chunk of what we were working on.
Oh no, that was only
very
that was only Lonnie's lines that everyone said. There's no reason that this should be like this, and this is kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I think that's the move.
I've still got the moves. Name it. Name that show.
Is it Masked Singer?
What?
You said name the show.
Bad guess.
Is it Celebrity Dance Off?
Worst guess.
Dancing with the Stars.
Are you
that's what it is.
crazy?
What the fuck? Are you having a stroke?
Is it Wheel of Fortune?
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, you freak.
Yeah, what the hell just happened in your brain?
What scene from It's Always Sunny? Repeat what you said. Repeat the.
I've still got the move.
Oh, is that Frank?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he loves the move.
Yeah, dude. Sorry, I dropped
Wheel
my
of Fortune.
Magnum condom for
My
my
monster dong.
dong.
Okay, so now we just have Zoe walking through the coop all horrifically. Now, okay, so the big challenge of today's episode is how do we work now this new character, not new, but recently shined upon, Lucille, the devil chicken.
I feel like she just watches.
I don't think she's like seen right away. I think she kind of comes out of the shadows.
Well, because she is sitting on or near the black egg, right? So it's like I imagine Zoe has to approach her cage.
I guess I always imagined the nest was empty, but like the egg was seen.
Right. I guess I never pictured Lucille being there for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, she hasn't been in the script until now
Yeah.
that David is like, ow, my hand.
Right, but
And
maybe that's what makes it freakier is that there's not actually a chicken in there.
that's fair. And I don't want to make a chicken act and like have a stare down with Zoe.
Although it would feel kind of odd to hype up Lucille
Yes.
2 or 3 times and like not show her.
Definitely. Especially to like hear clucking
Yeah.
and things like that.
Yeah. That's why I kind of said it would be cool to just have like Lucille like watching from the shadows. Like
Oh yeah.
like different shots could like just have like a black chicken like up
Yeah.
in the coop like in the background,
Like
you
as a
know?
guardian of
Wha-
the egg,
what
like
if-
watching
Right.
over the egg.
like Hereditary when she's like in the corner.
Yeah.
And it's like you have to look to see her.
It could maybe even like flukka, like
Yeah.
flutter through the.
Yeah.
I do
foreground.
like the idea of like that stare down. Yeah, just like a little like I guess not stare down because she's not staring at the chicken, right? Or is she?
Right.
The
She
chicken.
doesn't-
The
she
chicken is
doesn't
watching her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is what Maddie's saying.
So is it like a POV shot?
No.
No.
Like Hereditary,
Like
where it's like in the shadows.
Oh, I see.
yeah, like the shot
Oh,
is of Zoe
okay.
going to get the eggs from everywhere.
But we
like
see-
in the background you can see a black chicken.
I
looking
love
at
that.
her. Yeah.
I love that. Oh, what if it
Nice.
just like moves? Oh, yeah, no, I like that. Sorry, I'm gonna. No, because like I don't want to detract away what we're saying, but like I think like it'd be fun too because like I imagine it'd be hard to like get a black chicken or to fully see a black chicken until like it moves, so like we can get it to
Right.
move from like point A or whatever to point B as it like walks out of frame.
Yeah, or even just have it like
Yeah,
Swain's head.
Yeah.
you guys are smart.
So the door shuts behind Zoe, making the space go dark. Zoe jumps, looking slightly nervous. She moves forward, looking through empty chicken cages. She's increasingly claustrophobic. She hears a cluck. Cluck.
Good fucking cluck.
That should be the name
Thanks,
of the
man.
short film.
That's what I was just about to say.
Clucked.
Good cluck.
Good cluck. Good fuck.
That's stupid. She hears a cluck. She looks over her shoulder.
They kiss.
Yes. Zoe, frightened, moves forward. There are eggs. She reaches the last cage. She
Ah,
reaches.
shit, bitch. What's in here?
How often does a chicken lay eggs?
I think like every day.
Yeah, I think it's pretty.
Pretty regular. How did no
Yeah,
really?
Yeah,
They make an entire egg in 24 hours.
I think so.
I mean, I think if they're like well taken care of.
What a crazy life.
Let me look that up. Let me Google that for you, buddy.
Because I mean, because if it's like once a month, it's gonna be pretty unlikely for her to walk forward and find like 3 eggs in this nest.
Well, they find eggs all the time, like multiple eggs all the time.
Yeah,
They have a litter of eggs.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
I know.
Maybe not. I
I'm
don't
realizing
know.
I know
Oh,
very little
Swain,
about chickens.
Get ready.
I'm ready.
They lay roughly 6 eggs each week.
Damn.
One a
Go
day.
chickens.
About an egg a day.
Mm-hmm.
About an egg a day.
They
wow.
keep they keep Sunday off for the Sabbath.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, that's God's
For
day.
God.
God hates eggs.
That's why you're so pissed at Eve.
Yeah, that's
Get your
why.
eggs out of my garden.
That's why for Easter you have to hide them. So okay, we have not yet. She reaches the last cage.
Lucille watches in the shadows.
Same.
Watches from the shadows. So I like the idea of Lucille watching from the shadows. Something that I hadn't said yet was I like the idea of giving Zoe a bit of a stand up for herself kind of a moment where she actually confronts the chicken and like does best it in a
Mhm.
way.
What if she just barely gets it before the chicken could cluck, or it could like peck
Peck her
Yeah,
ass.
yeah.
That's true. I mean,
That
I also
sounds crazy to
Well,
try to.
well, we could
Just get a chicken
we
head.
could just get a chicken head on a stick, and that could be like
Bah.
our pecker,
Yeah, because it can be like a
Pecker.
our prosthetic pecker.
it could be like a not necessarily a bird's eye view, but like a down angle view, and then we can just get a chicken head on a stick and
You only need it out of the edge of the frame.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer that the chicken being of devilish descent
Mm-hmm.
and Zoe being the chosen sacrifice. I prefer the idea that the chicken like almost recognizes her. And so it like Zoe feels like she stood up for herself and that's what did well.
Yeah.
But I almost kind of so like in my head I picture Zoe walks up, reaches for the egg, chicken goes to peck, she pulls her hand back. They look at each other a little bit longer. the chicken like steps back.
Mhm.
Zoe slowly reaches forward, grabs the egg without question. There's a moment, and then she leaves.
I could see that.
It's like that's kind of what I saw before we got into like the shadows thing, which I like. So now I'm trying to figure out like, is there a way to make all of that work?
I feel like if we don't want to drag out, if we wanted to drag out the scene, it could, but it sounds like a little bit of a long sequence for something.
It'll definitely shoot faster than it took me to say it.
That's fair.
I think it's a more interesting story element to like have some kind of victory or like established respect between Zoe and Lucille. So yeah, I don't know. Like maybe even if she's like she doesn't even have to get pecked at. Like she could reach for the egg and it's like a clock, and Zoe's like, I don't know, like finally says something snippy or whatever, is like, oh hush you. I don't know, that's not what she sounds like. But then she just gets the egg and then she leaves.
I don't see that at all. But
No,
that's just
that
me.
might be dumb.
I don't think it's dumb. I get what you're saying, but I guess, and maybe I'm wrong for doing this. I'm thinking too much in terms of like a Greg moment. I feel like a
Okay.
Greg moment wouldn't have that win. It would be kind of like he would be timid. I don't know. Maybe that's not right.
I think what I'm asking for is Lucille giving in.
Okay.
Because like Lucille has been hyped up as this like pecky monster.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you should have brought your oven mints. Lucille's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
And then so I feel like there has to be some sort of a confirmation that this is the chicken that we were hearing about, but then a change that either shows that Zoe is special or that the kids are pussies. Some like that's kind
I
of
get
what
that.
I think we need.
I think it's scary to not know where the chicken is. I totally.
Well, I definitely think it's scarier, but does it help our story?
Yes.
How so?
I don't know. I just like it way better.
Yeah. I mean, and you're our story bitch, so
How do you feel?
I guess I'm trying to think of what that acceptance looks like.
right.
And because like I don't disagree with you. I understand what you're saying. And I think you're right. Like there does need to be that sort of like confirmation of like you're the chosen one or whatever. But also too, like I don't know how to. I can't right now envision that cinematically.
I can't either. And honestly, I agree. Like, it's definitely scarier for like Lucille to just be looming, and like Zoe can be like scared as she goes for the egg, blah blah blah. And maybe like we just leave this as horror, and we like don't worry about like carrying the story forward. And maybe it can like
That's so passive aggressive.
no, seriously. Like that's like the only reason that I'm like, oh, we need to have this, because it's like I'm always trying to like, how do we fit the story in? But like sometimes you just want to like have fun on camera. So all I was gonna say was, if we still want to like have this kind of special respect between Zoe and Lucille, we could like just bring that in a line later between like Lonnie and Zoe of like, hey, how the fuck did you get the egg? It's like, I don't know. Like, I guess Lucille likes me. Like, it's just something super quick.
Yeah.
Just to like, something super quick just to like establish that at some point, but like not dwell on it.
What if?
Totally don't agree.
I mean,
Hold
it's
on.
just like it's one line.
Hold on.
I know, which is
I-
fine.
ho-
I'm just like like we're just not on the same page,
That's fun.
which is interesting.
Yeah.
Like,
I think.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest.
No, I know. I'm happy to hear it. It's just yeah. I was just surprised.
Let me throw one out for you guys.
Yeah.
Ready? So what if like Zoe comes in, right? She's looking at she walks in, she looks at the nest. We do see Lucille in the background, similar to the shot that we talked about before. But in the nest, she noticed that all the eggs are like broken and bloodied or whatever. Like it's just like a mess, right?
Yeah.
And she's like a little confused and she's a little startled back. And then she hears whatever chicken noise.
Yeah.
And then like a little just like something's been laid and set on the floor.
Yeah.
She turns around quickly. The black egg just
In,
lays on
like,
the floor.
middle of the floor.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Lucille's gone.
Yeah. Yes. I like that.
I guess maybe I do like that.
Yeah.
I guess maybe my issue with I don't think Zoe should win.
Right.
She kind of has to though
Right.
to get because she has the egg. That's the win.
But like I don't know. I think we're making this chicken way too big of a deal.
And that's the problem, because we have the whole scene that we just wrote, like, hypes up how...
Right,
hypes
so
up
I'm
the
saying
chicken.
maybe that's wrong.
But I don't think
you're right.
that's wrong though. I don't think that's wrong at all. Because like the egg is like it's part of the weirdness. It is like one of the things at night, and I don't know. And maybe that's just like because I'm thinking like then we have to go back all the way back to like when he talks about the chicken in the first place.
Right. I agree with everyone in the room. The reason that I want to establish some sort of respect is because we've hyped up the chicken so much.
I agree.
So Maddie disagreeing with the need for respect goes along with you saying maybe we don't need to hype up the chicken so much. But I think that's why I like yours as kind of a compromise. It's like it brings more attention to the egg than to Zoe. And it keeps Lucille mysterious. And I think that there's still a place where we like make some super quick comment about like from Lon. I think we somehow display disbelief from Lonnie and David of how Zoe
Got the egg.
like bested Lucille. Just even if it's like a joke, just because like, oh, they both got pecked. Like that's kind of the joke.
Yeah.
But that's for tomorrow. That's for later us.
Also, just to add a little bit to my scene too, she could turn back into the nest and see that there was never any like broken egg. If that like adds to the mysteriousness to it
True.
all, like she's
Oh,
hallucinating.
yeah.
Like she looks down and they're all like bleh bleh,
Yeah.
like, and like with like human red blood.
Very similar to like PT. Remember that when they had like the fetus in the
In the sink.
yeah. Just imagine like chicken fetuses just like
Right.
mama.
That would be crazy.
Oh, I don't know, man. What if that is like the thing? Like, what if there's like almost like this cosmic warning to Zoe?
Yeah, I'm into that. I like that horror element.
Yeah, like I think that's cool.
Mama. Feed me, mother.
Is that what it is? Is it when a chicken makes its sound? Is it called it crowing?
I think it's a clucking.
What about like?
Clucking.
That's a cluck. Is it cluck cluck?
What about a cluck screech?
Cluck screech.
The chicken cluck screeches.
Austin, you're our chicken facts guy. Would you mind looking up what that's called?
Yeah. What is it called with chickens?
Yeah, list of chicken sounds.
Oh, guess what? It's still called a cluck, bitch.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
That's dumb. I disagree.
You
Call every farmer. Let's figure this out.
I want your fucking
I'm sorry, Austin.
testicles.
I like I said, you're our chicken fact boy. I should have trusted you.
Yeah, dude.
While she reaches out for the egg, what if she sees Lucille just like kind of sitting in the corner, just watching?
That could work.
Like she kind of reaches down, like looks up, like sees the chicken, then grabs. It's just an insert shot, really. But
I think that'd be good.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah,
Like she kind of gets its blessing.
I think it'd be funny if like she walks in to see David, or not David, Donnie. He goes, "Holy shit, that worked!"
I think he should like react to the black egg.
Yeah,
Like, oh, like because that's like,
maybe not as like
I mean,
dramatic,
yeah,
but
not
like
that.
yeah,
But it's like, oh shit, it's real.
yeah.
Things are happening. Zoe, terrified, grabs the black egg and runs out of the coop. When she exits, the day is noticeably later.
Hell yeah, I like that.
Okay, Zoe looks around the backyard, brushes her hair behind her ear, and heads inside. I don't know if she should like look down at the egg and have that kind of a moment. But I forgot to rewrite the broken eggs. So within the nest, we see a pile of broken eggs covered in human blood. Zoe stares in horror. Behind her, Lucille clucks. I'm going to say cries. Can we just type that?
Yeah. If you can just add an audio file.
I'm going to do a
next
squawk. Lucille squawks.
There we go.
Zoe wheels around on the ground, resting as if presented to her. A black egg sits. Zoe turns back to the nest, and the cluster of eggs are unbroken.
In fact, I don't think there's even like a cluster. I think there's just like no eggs.
It's empty.
I think so. Yeah.
Zoe turns back to the nest and finds...
Chicken begging.
Yeah.
Kill me, please.
Okay. So we have Zoe enters the coop carefully. The door shuts behind her, making the space go dark. Zoe jumps, looking slightly nervous. She moves forward, looking through empty chicken cages. Zoe is increasingly claustrophobic. She hears a cluck. She looks over her shoulder, frightened. Zoe approaches the last cage. Lucille watches from the shadows. Within the nest, we see a pile of broken eggs, covered in human blood. Zoe stares in horror. Behind her, Lucille squawks. Zoe wheels around. On the ground, resting as if presented to her, a black egg sits. Zoe turns back to the nest and finds it empty. She turns back. The black egg is still there. She slowly approaches it. As she reaches for the egg, she sees Lucille watching from the shadows. Zoe, terrified, grabs the black egg and runs out of the coop. Zoe looks around the backyard, brushes her hair behind her ear, and heads inside.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Slick. Who needs dialogue?
Well, I'm excited. I think that was a really good writing session, guys. And we're done with scene 5.
Yes, we
How
are.
does that feel? Feeling pretty good.
Thank you for joining us. I mean, yeah, every day that we work on this script, you know, we did that one full pass through and got the beats, and now getting these dialogue pieces like sorted out and like really kind of bringing the story and the character elements into it has it just feels so much better every time.
That was the show, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Tune in next week as we will figure it out.
Support the show. Follow us on social media. Share us to a friend who needs a podcast. And check out the merch store. That's the most direct way to support us and fund the short film that we're all making together.
And get something cool with our logo on it.
And all kinds of stuff.
All kinds.
All stuff of all
One
kinds.
size fits all.
What?
One size fits all. We got room tone mugs. We got room tone shirts. We have swatches. We don't have swatches.
Totally thought you were going to say swastikas.
We have room tone bikinis. It's
Yeah.
I'm saying we should get baby tees.
Oh,
Yeah.
baby teeth. At least said baby teeth for a second. We have room tone baby teeth.
Yeah. Coming soon.
Buy our merch. All right. Thanks for listening. All right. Bye. Pause for room tone.